At the castle, Charlotte takes a look at Hart's surveillance footage and sees that there is a suspicious person in the middle of the forest. So she reports it to her elder brother, and Hart sees that these people look like they are burglars. Hart explains to us that his sister, Charlotte, has recently become quite obsessed with patrolling their property because she thinks Hart is busy doing other things. Flay Bars is inside the room asking Hart if he is hurt since she has heard from the little girl, Charlotte, that he has been fighting the wrongdoers alone recently. Slay proposes to assist him in his heroic work from now on and again requests that he takes her with him. Charlotte also thinks that it would be a good idea for Flay to join Hart, but he thinks she will be only a nuisance to an overpowered hero like him. So he tries to turn it around on Flay and asks her if she is not busy herself. He tells her that she should do what the castle lord has tasked her with, but Flay explains that she has done today's work of cleaning the entire courtyard and reveals that she has also successfully suppressed the demons around this area. So Hart wonders what excuses he should now make so that he doesn't have to take Flay with him. Charlotte gets excited to hear that Flay will be fighting bandits and begins to imagine her as a hero too. Charlotte tells them that she has heard various stories about heroes having partners or psychics to rescue them whenever they are in crisis, so she also wants Flay to be the partner of Hart, the hero of justice. Flay couldn't agree more and claims that even though she is far less powerful than Hart, she can help him a little. With both Flay and Charlotte requesting Hart, he is left with no other option but to accept Flay as his psychic. He takes Flay away to have a private talk and tells her that the only reason he is not taking her with him is that she gets too rough with her opponents, which is not very child-friendly. So he asks Flay to be less aggressive in battle as he cannot let Charlotte see any bloody scenes. Flay understands, and so they begin their journey to find the 4 burglars. Meanwhile, the 4 burglars are discussing how they won't be starving for a few days as they have harvested quite a good amount of fortune. Zero Akko will launch. Hart makes his heroic entry, telling the burglars that he is the dark warrior of this world and that he wishes to eliminate the darkness. As the burglars begin to wonder who this clown is, another clown appears behind them, calling herself the Red Warrior, but it's actually just Flay and Hart. Flay decides to immediately end this and incantates her fire magic to use it against the burglars and burn them all, but Hart stops her just in time, reminding her that he cannot let Charlotte see gore. However, Flay proceeds to burn the burglars anyway, so Hart puts a barrier on the fouled burglars so that Flay's attacks don't hit them any longer. Flay wonders why her attacks are getting blocked in midair, but she doesn't comprehend that her master is behind this. So she uses more powerful fire magic to tear down the shield that the burglars are using, but before she can do that, Hart immediately smacks her head with a punch and again reminds her that the scene cannot be violent. Still, Flay doesn't understand what Hart is saying and proceeds to burn the burglars with her magic. Hart can't stand this idiot beside him anymore, so he tells Flay to go home right now. Flay thinks that Hart desires to beat the burglars himself, so she decides to stand behind him instead of going back to the castle. After dealing with the burglars, Hart returns home and falls flat on his bed to take a rest. He can't believe that his mate is so dumb and decides to go to sleep, but Charlotte doesn't let him have a single moment of peace and comes to his room to tell him how good he and Flay were looking when they fought the bad guys. Charlotte tells them that she wants to see both of them fight again, even though it just ended, and Flay promises to put on a good show for her next time. But Hart decides that he will never take Flay with him again as she might destroy his entire reputation as Charlotte's elder brother. In the meantime, Charlotte teaches Flay a signature move to use on the bad guys and gives her thorough instructions on how to use it. Hart can't take this stupidity anymore, so he wonders when he will be able to live a peaceful life again. On the other side, the Crown Prince Leas punches his pillow as he cannot take the humiliation of getting beaten by Hart. He questions why things went south like this as he is supposed to be the next king who inherits the bloodline of the Shining Princess. So he only wanted to make Hart's family realize how high and mighty he is, and that is why he tried to pick a fight with Hart, but things went sour. Leas wonders how a level 2 mage like Hart is so powerful. The minister calls Leas for dinner, and although he doesn't want to go, he puts his clothes on and heads to the hall. The minister then advises Leia to invite Charlotte to tomorrow's convention as he will need someone to talk with on the road, but Leia expresses that he doesn't need to talk with other people. So the minister makes it clear that it's His Majesty's direct orders. Leia has no other option but to do so. It's also time for dinner at Gold's castle, and Charlotte calls her big brother, Hart, for dinner. She apologizes for not knocking, but Hart is already used to it, so he quietly heads to the dining hall. Hart sees how luxurious the dishes look while his clone laments how Hart is making him work tirelessly all day. The clone gets depressed because he feels that there is no use left for him and jumps on the bed to sulk alone. Hart moves on, thinking it's normal, and keeps eating his meal. Charlotte mentions to him that she will participate in tomorrow's inspection as she reveals that she just got an invitation personally from the prince to go there. Hart can't let the stupid prince lurk around his little sister, so he decides to go to the inspection as well. At night, he wonders what he should do and how he should prepare himself for tomorrow. He first investigates the travel route to the inspection to see if there are any unwanted traps on the road. That's when he sees a large group of evil mages using a summoning circle, and it's clear to Hart that these mages are up to no good. Hart decides to personally go and see what these mages are trying to summon. So he immediately heads there disguised as the Dark Warrior, asking one of the mages what they are doing here. The other mage immediately gets hostile, seeing an imposter among them, so they decide to kill Hart, but Hart kills them instead with one blow of his otherworldly magic and shows them their place. One of the mages who survived the attack sacrifices himself to complete the evil summoning circle and summons dozens of undead soldiers out of it. But Hart doesn't get scared and instead he begins slashing them one after another using his sword. The skeletons try surrounding Hart, but it's no use as he is the strongest. Seeing that this strategy is not working, the evil mages summon a giant rock golem to attack Hart, but he finds the golem's weak spot, attacks its spirit core, and rewrites the spell to turn all of the skeleton and the golem on his side. Then Hart captures everyone and asks the leader of the group why they were doing this, but the leader remains silent. So Hart decides to bury all of them alive if they are unwilling to tell him the truth. As the members of this mage group begin to beg for their lives, their leader finally opens up his mouth and reveals that they are the summoner unit directly working under the Elder Princess and were planning to cause an incursion on the upcoming inspection tomorrow. Hart asks why they would do something like that, and the leader reveals that their purpose is to assassinate Charlotte. Gold explains that he already knows of this as the Dark Warrior sent him a message yesterday about the evil group of mages plotting against Charlotte. Gold doesn't know what to do in such a situation, so Hart tells him that they should just get rid of the Elder Princess. But Gold tells him not to think that way as the country currently needs the Elder Princess to keep the El King's position safe. In other words, if the Elder Princess were to die, it would lead to civil strife in the country. Gold tells Hart about the story of 12 years ago when the king led a crusade force and one of the members, G. Saladin, single-handedly took the head of the Demon King. Because of that, the king married her, and now she's becoming the Elder Princess, once the king passes away. Gold doesn't think that the Elder Princess should have the kingdom for herself because of her greed. But he thinks that everything will turn around once someone stronger than the queen stands up against her. In that case, Hart asks Gold to be the next king, but he explains that he is neither good at politics nor at controlling the country. But Gold thinks that Charlotte will be better than him and hopes that maybe one day she will be able to lead the country. So to do so, Gold tells Hart to protect his sister until she becomes queen. That's it for this one. Did you enjoy this recap? If you did, kindly like this video and subscribe to our channel so we can bring you the recap of the next episodes of this anime series. Until next time.